Hello. Oh, hello. Hello, hi. It is me, hi. Well, time Didi, your Khadia Dizia internet and Akastrach. I am back. Hello, yella. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let your people know about me. So, we're learning to work with a new device. Some of you have picked up on that. You've been making some very positive remarks about the quality and things like that. Um, so sometimes it's not gonna go well. Okay. In my last video, you guys know I hold the mic to anchor, right? Because I'm a handsy person when I talk. And I feel like it helps to anchor me. I don't know how else to explain that. And I found that it would focus so much on my hand and blur out my face, right? So I'm gonna have to work on being handsy. We're drinking sugary stuff today. So I'm taking a Red Bull. And we're just going to catch up. Somebody asked as well what happened to the trending topics. Baby, I'm trying. Okay. I am trying, and sometimes I get it wrong. And we're just going to, this is really a lie. That's what I did. That is who your Heidi is. Okay. Somebody else said, I've been asked about my hair before. When I asked you guys when we got to 1,000, I said you guys can ask me like questions about me. Somebody asked about my lock journey. I've been growing my hair for well over a decade. It's probably 13 years now. I locked my hair 2013. It had 2012 or 2013, give or take. So that's how long I've had my locks. And what the journey has been, my mom had locks. I think I've mentioned this as well. My mom had locks about the same length as me. She's cut them, she trimmed them once, like a good amount. And then her hair was like half down her back. I don't know where those trimmings are. I'm trying not to disturb the mic. I think she's trimmed that much off before, like this. And so they were like halfway down her back. And now she cut them all off this past December. And no, we had to throw them away. You got it. People ask me where they are. How long do I plan to keep the hair? I love my locks. And I'm tender-headed. People will ask me how I've maintained somewhat a decent hairline because it's not. But I also looked at my mom's hairline, right? Like as her hair got like longer, it will thin. The weight and the length of it all, it will pull on it a little bit, but there is a way to maintain some integrity, and that for me has been avoiding I'm tender-headed as is, so I don't like the salon. I'm not in the salon every month getting my hair pulled. I think I twist my hair a handful, and that's me being generous. I think I twist my hair, it used to be 3 times and now probably twice a year. I got my hair crocheted last year. Was it the beginning of this year? But basically I've only done my hair once this year in terms of like separating and doing all of that. I had a guy come in and crochet me. Then I dye my hair black. I dyed my hair July or June. I can't remember, but that's all I've really done to it. I live in head wraps, so it's really easy for me to like maintain my hair. Like my job requires that I keep it wrapped up anyway. That's why I come on here with wraps a lot. One of my friends was like on me this weekend, like, your subscribers like your hair. And I know you are always in your wraps, but you probably need to come on more with your hair down. Like, girl, the people just want to hear what I have. But like, it's not a beauty channel. The girls don't even expect me to put on earrings. Like, I mean, I hope. Enough about that. Oh, I needed that. Oh my god. It's 16 past 2 and I haven't had a meal. As a fat person, that's an accomplishment. We like to share about how, oh my god, people think I eat a lot, but it's like 3 and I haven't had anything to eat. What we don't say is we're gonna binge in the evening. Okay, let's go to my pepper and dab and see if there's anything do you guys actually want to know what I want to talk about? And I don't care about Dineo Moloisane. Like, I really do not care about her. I think she's also lying about her age. Or she just has that like mature woman face. Like, I don't know what to say. But Dineo Moloisane is all over the blogs. She's been dating this guy, and for like 3 minutes, literally, for 3 minutes, we don't know who this guy is, right? But jiggy jiggy boom, we know who the guy is, and it turns out it's Press. And my friend is like to me at the weekend. She's like, "Do you remember Coca-Cola Pop Stars? Because apparently he's from Coca-Cola." Oh, I remember Coca-Cola fucking Pop Stars. And I'm like, oh yeah, with like Pam Andrews and them and whatever, whatever, whatever. And it's that guy. And I know he's had some recent like sort of hits in recent years in the Afro. What's that genre called? What's that genre of music called? The yelele yele genre, the the mafigizolo type genre. Anyway, Afro pop. Is it Afro pop? But anyway, in that type of space, that music does well for weddings and things like that. Here's the thing about it. For me, I think a lot of people clocked it. I think so. I didn't go through. I think mostly it was people just saying, ah, Dineo Now let me go through the comments, you guys. Oh, I see my first comment there. Mm. Everybody just talking about how, oh, I'm doing the 2 days. I think it's for praise. I think it's the Lori Harvey thing, except, Lori has more currency than Dineo, but not necessarily. We're talking, like, when was the last time we spoke about praise? Can praise get praise? Like, can he by himself get praise? So I think what's happened here is that he wants to trend. He needs to drum up. We're going into December. Like I said, his music is very Decembery, very weddingy type things. Some people are now being introduced to who he is, in as much as like she's not an A-lister. She's not. But she can make the blogs, and she makes the blogs, right? So being linked to her is good press. I don't even think I believe that they're in Thailand. That's what's crazy, because they're saying they're on vacation. They've been together for like 22 days or something. Like, the baby hasn't even figured out how to latch yet at 22 days. Like, and then I like, oh, and then looks for the nipple, and then it's a whole thing. So ain't no way these people are this serious in like 22 days, and this is the love of a life, and everybody's like, oh, if he wants to, he will. It's all praise to me. This is a paid for type relationship, so we can like talk about this person. And it's nice to see. For me, it is kind of, it's interesting, because I like to look at these types of things and analyze them from that angle of, oh, okay, great. Like, remember when I told you guys a while ago as well that like being seen dating a certain type of person does something for your stock, right? Like, now they probably baddies in his DMs thinking, oh, if he's with Dineo, they think this type of guy dates Dineo, right? Because she's showing you all the bags and stuff, like the shopping bags, the high end or whatever shopping bags and stuff. So you start to think to yourself, oh, okay. And that's how you bitches become the mark. Because a lot of you actually have your shit together, Michali. A lot of you are proper, you're making your own money, but you want man money, because you know what's to hate about man money, even though you have your own money, not realizing you are essentially the target, right? Like, Mikhaili came and told us that I was paying for the trip in Mexico, but in real time she can't tell us that. She's to make like this man is treating her soft. She's too embarrassed as a baddie to say, yo, like, I was tricked or whatever. So a lot of you baddies don't now go and think like Press is gonna give you this life or whatever. So the guy, so yeah, Thailand the guy. These people, everything I've seen them post, and I could be wrong. I'm not on Dineo stories and stuff, but I don't see, it could be anywhere. And Dineo has been to Thailand before. Everything I saw that was panning out to scenery, they aren't in those shots. Whereas like everywhere else, they could be at some resort somewhere in KZN, like, I don't know, or they are possibly in Thailand. Let me not even be like a hater like that, even though I'm quite great at it, quite the overachiever in that round. But like, I'm just saying, That's my thing with the Dineo relationship. I mean, she is every second post on my Pepandaba in particular. But I think one of the girls runs that blog, right? Like one of these type girls. And they think we know whomever. I don't know. But Dineo is madly in love, allegedly. I'm gonna talk about. I saved some videos a while ago. One is just a week ago actually on TikTok of people complaining that something is wrong with the event industry, like the decor ladies, or the, there's parts to it, right? They're complaining about people just not delivering on decor, and also this new trend thanks to Instagram and what is Instagrammable of prioritizing your decor over the fact that people actually need to eat at these things. And that's what I really want to chat to you all about. The girls are saying because you guys want the pictures and you want things to look nice, the more elaborate the event, the more you're going to starve. People are saying that they are having to leave your gatherings and quickly go get themselves a KFC, get themselves some hot wings or whatever. And the complaint is valid because it's running with the fact that there's like more an expectation now for people to dress up more. You know, you all have like what is this now? Dress codes you want people to adhere to, rightfully so. You wanted to, again, the prioritizing of the feel and the decor and the aesthetics of things, right? And people honor those themes, right? Buy a baruka, or they buy really expensive things, or even if it's not expensive, they spend money exclusively to honor this invite that you've sent out. And it's not cool that they get to the event and now they're starving. What's going on there, guys? What's the discrepancy? The other thing is that you guys, quite a few of you, look at these things online. You know, the precious, the planner stuff, or just decor stuff online, and the menu balloons and the big flowers and all of that stuff. And then you live in a small town like me, you send that to your decor lady and you're like, yeah, this is what I want. And then when they tell you the price, you want to act shocked. Part of the reason people are starving is because people don't have a real um idea of how much things cost, and the idea that balloons are cheap or putting things together cannot possibly be this expensive, and we're ripping people off, and it's not like you're not going to use the chairs again, forgetting that it's quite like fashion. The cycles are getting shorter and shorter. The couches that your it deco lady was using 2 years ago, she's had to sell those to somebody else who's up and coming and upgrade to fancier, plushier, more current styles. They need to charge you like they're running a business, meaning the rental cost on that item also means that they need to have a little bit of money to put away. Like a profit needs to be made on that thing. It cannot just be, I already own it, so I can't charge her that much. How are you going to replace that item or get a better one? How is the business going to manage to sustain itself if we don't price you correctly? That's what's going on here. Nobody is cheating you. You just don't have like the right idea on how much this deco stuff is going to cost. And because you don't have the right idea on that, you end up ushotisha the other stuff, and the other stuff happens to be food. It's not right that people are coming to events and they're starving. That is not cool. And I understand why people are irritated. Like, rather the event even ugly, easy. You know, people are drinking. Like, bubbles make you hungry. When you're drinking, you get there super early, then you start late, right? Fine. In the morning, I decided to grab myself a coffee and a something and a mug and bean on the way. Great. Or I had breakfast at home, whatever the issue is. But like, I already fed myself the first meal. I get there, maybe it's a wedding. You don't even have a cocktail hour with like little something to tie us over. You know, it doesn't need to be fancy. I'm not talking like having like canapes or like, I'm not even talking about that. Like one of my friends who got married last year, he had pap. Like for the people arriving early in the morning, they had that pap situation where you just have like pap and like like nothing hectic, but just that if it runs long, especially the older people, people can take their pills, people aren't feeling antsy and irritated. Also, when the program is running too long, why don't we break for food and then come back and finish the thing? Because sometimes we push to say no, people about we're not gonna cut the program and do this. But that just makes everybody angry and cranky. I don't get it. I also don't get why we still have this thing where the program carries on longer than it should. Like, guys, it's been like there's experience now with these things, saying like we can try to work on it and get it right. But also get off Instagram. You can't afford the things that you have a taste for. I don't know what to tell you. You will be the person who starves people. Some of you also don't have a real idea of how much food costs because self I in a bad way, but some of you are already we know you. So you don't understand that feeding a crowd of people is money. Okay, the food itself and the catering itself is quite a lot of money. These things my mom and I always say, and we've always said this, when I don't like to have parties, like I don't at all. I don't like these things where it's like somebody's birthday and then we have I can't stand it. I'm like, it's for certain people. They love that vibe, and the people who love it usually know how to cater and host people. It's a thing. It's a skill, and it's nice for other people, not for me. I don't like it because I know like there is no little gathering. Whatever you're doing, if you're catering now just for 20 people, it's always like times that by three. Whatever budget you were assigned for that thing, times it by three, things come up. Things end up costing more than you think they're gonna cost and stuff. This thing, it's not like, don't text me in particular wanting a service of mine that I offer, whatever. And then you think it's time for us to do a little back, like especially if I have a set price for it, we're not gonna negotiate on that price. Like I don't actually play those weird games about certain things unless it's like a backdrop situation. Maybe there's something to talk about there. But if you want me to do something about that price, we're removing something. Like I don't know what else to tell you. You're not getting exactly what you want, and I'm getting nothing out of it. I told you guys that I'm like playing around with faux flowers and things like that. And the ideas that people have around how much they think faux flowers cost, and or what time I'll just go. I may as well get fresh ones. Well, go. Let me see how that pans out. And I encourage people. I'm like, you know what? This is the arrangement. This is how much I've priced it at. Okay. You're more than welcome to send a picture of this faux flower situation that I've put together here to a traditional florist, like somebody who works with fresh flowers, right? Send it to them and have them give you an estimate of how much that would be. I encourage it because we don't have a real idea of how much these things cost. Mind you, flowers flake, they get dirty. You don't get it. People things like, oh, but then you now have it forever. You don't. You have it for a long period, yes, but like taking care of it is time consuming. The same with your decor ladies. The reason they are so people somebody else complained cost more than what you think they cost. I got distracted by somebody. But things cost more than what you think they cost and stuff. The flowers aren't for keeps. They are for keeps, but they're not forever. I've had to dye some of my white flowers because they got so dirty and I tried to clean them and they were, so I have to dye them to a new color, meaning I now have to replace my white flowers. Um, Cuteness is expensive, guys. The truth of the matter is, because we now live to telegraph as much as we do on a more heightened level, we we want things that are just not in our budgets. We just gotta admit we're broke. More than anything, we must come to terms with the fact that we're broke. The way I'm in denial about the fact that this is finished. God, they're terrible. But the guys, what you guys do is like texting us and saying, I think I can tell her bees. I don't want anything complicated. I just want, and then you send, and it's like these balloons doing a swirly, swipey thing, this mammoth sized cake of a thing. And it's like, what do you think is simple about this? Because if it were simple, you would DIY it, right? There's also a disrespect element there of thinking you're just being cheated. I was talking before, now I remember my thought about people complaining that the decor people pack up their stuff before you even get to use them, they cutlery and stuff. We don't respect people's things when we're guests at weddings. We treat people's things like they are single use things. This is a proper plate. This is proper cutlery. The glassware, we get drunk, we get carried away, we break stuff. This is the thing about COVID where I was like, I wish we would have kept this new device thing there. Right? No. But anyway, it was so intimate. She had spent quite a bit on it. So we all understood that we must respect the things on the table, the glassware. I remember it was like when we could all see that we're really getting wasted, we put the glasses away and we started using like, you know, paper thingy or styrofoam, plastic. But we stopped using those, like we put it away nicely. And the decor people came the next day to clear up and collect all their stuff. Also because they had a good deposit that they were holding, right? Like, so that if they don't get all their stuff back, they keep that money. But that's that high end shit. People aren't always able to operate in that kind of style depending on where they're located. I struggle with that with the faux flowers. If I'm dealing with a new person, I prefer to hold a fee because, guys, the flowers are expensive. The flowers are really, really expensive. If I'm dealing with a new person, I'd rather have a holding fee. I deal with a lot of like decor people that I know, like personally know. So when I just send them out at the regular rental price, I always get them back in mint condition, right? It's the new people who have no real understanding of like, oh yes, these are fresh flowers, but the people I'm dealing with know how much these flowers cost, right? Like they actually know. So because now I'm in the space, I find that when I'm having to work with a new person and I tell them that I've got a holding deposit type of policy, I lose that client because they now feel like I'm overcharging them, even though it's like a refundable deposit if I get my shit back in mint condition, right? So there's all of that stuff of us not respecting people's things. So the other thing is overbooking though. The other reason the person who's put together your function will come and start taking their stuff away is because they need to use those same things to go and set up at another venue. It's like because the wear and tear is real in this industry. And a lot of it happens in transit. A lot of it happens with like how your workers put your things back, how they take care of the stuff, how they when they're loading the things onto the cars. And a lot of the damage happens there as well. Maybe we don't want to talk about that. Okay, and you move this to this venue, there's no people aren't careful in the mix of doing all of that stuff, but the furniture is supposed to be functional. You're not about to set up a lounge setup for me and my party is carrying on into like the early hours of the morning or whatever, but you are coming to remove your couches at like 8 o'clock. Well, that's when the vibe is going. The shots are now coming out. It's Jaeger bomb on ye, and now urnagita kwesofeni umpekitilo kila keke nsuka plastiki karo dujima ojar. Girl, no, I'm not even trying to do all of that. That is not, guys. Deco it you the next day. I'm sorry. I know the deco people are not gonna like this, but deco it you the next day. It cannot be the taco said you so far. Recarbondali when you pay. Eh, I just met the love of my life and you're trying to get us off the couch. The couch is part of the love, Kaloko. That comfort is the delusion is part of like that couch is part of why we're delusional in that moment. So no, you're fucking up the scene. Usinya ambiance. Yo, but that's all. That's all I oh, what even was the point of this video? Oh, everybody's wrong. Everybody's wrong. But like, don't starve people. That's not allowed. Okay, rather like put off the thing or go see them by the people over at Capfin. Marnos Garchar eh, eh, go see a machonista talo, no, yay. Oscar Levancha letala, don't do that. But that's it. Oscar Levancha letala, some of you are delusional and you can't afford the shit you want. That's the chat. This one is nice and light, hey, unlike all of that Casper stuff that we're going through last week. Mwah, mwah. Bye, Yala.